Winston Churchill once said, "Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference." Hello everyone and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to be showing you a look using the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells palette. This is a new one that has 4 colors to it. Looks like this right here. That's what it looks like closed. But it has 4 colors to it. And it is, you know, your basic palette. It's got a transition shade now. It has a somewhat metallic-y, well not metallic-y, but shimmery white. Then you've got a medium tone brown, not really a dark brown, but it does still have a little bit of shimmer to it. And then you have a pinky color that also has shimmer. The only matte color in this is the transition shade. But I did use that on this eye look today. You know, and I just thought I'd go ahead and do a glowy spring type look. Because the no makeup look, from what I understand, is popular right now. So I just showed you some of the things I like to use and have been using periodically to get a barely there makeup look. And I have my hair just kind of scrunched up, you know, literally wet it, took some sea salt spray and scrunched it, you know, so that's all I did to my hair. So I just thought I'd have fun with this before I did some other videos. I am going to be doing my everyday makeup drawer. That probably will go up before this one, so if it has, I will link to it down below. And I'm also going to be doing a Project Empties video. So I hope that you hit that subscribe button so that you can see that video as well. And also, please, I want to personally invite you to join me on Facebook Live, or on my Facebook page for a Facebook Live playtime. I will have the link down below. It's my Blind Beauty Facebook page. And I typically will do that on Thursdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, now, if I'm not able to do it, I will post on the page to let you know that it's not happening. But I typically will try to do it at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on Thursdays. But you can always go back and watch the previous, you know, live video if you miss it, you know, because it's still going to be up there. I'm not going to delete it. So I do want to invite you to that, as well as to follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Shoot, you can even follow me on my blog. So I do hope you enjoy this look, and it's fairly simple. Almost anyone can do it. You know, just a real glowy type makeup look today. So I do hope that you enjoy it, and let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and whether you like this kind of look, whether you like the more natural or whether you like the more bold and daring. Because I do have some daring ones in mind. I'm just still getting my feet wet with the bold and daring. So I do hope you enjoy the look and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Here we go. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started here. The very first product you're going to see me use is the AOA Studio Wonder Skin Illuminating Primer. This is from the shopmissa.com website. It is a ShopMissa product for $1. And it's illuminating primer, and I'm dotting that all over and really just working it in with my hands. My hands are my best tool, because then I can tell where I got it spread evenly and all that stuff whenever I'm doing primer. And that is very important. And this is a glowy primer, but we are going for a more natural look today. So then I'm going in with the Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation by COVERGIRL. And I pumped a little bit of that on the back of my hand. And then I just dot it all over my skin, all over my face really good. Just dot it on, because that gets the product on there. Then I took the AOA Studio OVA brush, the largest one in the set, and I went ahead and blended that out really good all over my face. I do a buffing motion all over. Really just buffing it into the skin a little bit. Now this foundation does have a more dewy texture, or dewy look to it, which is more natural than some foundations. It's a good one for the springtime, especially if you don't have oily skin and have to worry about oil accumulating throughout the day. Now I do, but I still used this foundation today. Now then, I'm going in with the Loreal Visible Lift CC Under Eye Concealer. And that has a little roller ball, which is very cooling on the under eye area. And I do a triangle under the eye. You go from corner to corner and then down to the nose. Basically, I went inner corner to outer corner, then down to the almost tip of the nose, really. But not actual tip, but like where the crease is on the nose. And blend it out with my finger. That's just a little tip for highlighting that area a little bit. This is not a heavy-duty concealer. I didn't want to do heavy-duty, but I am using my finger just to blend it out and push it into the skin a little more. Then the next product I grabbed was my blush in bright pink, but, I believe that's what it's by. Or what color it's in, rather. It's by the brand e.l.f. Cosmetics. It's a $2 blush. I go cheap as I can, really, but then I realized I need to do powder first. This is the AOA Perfect Skin powder in translucent. I had touched my face and realized it was still tacky, so I went ahead and did this. Used the e.l.f. complexion brush and really just put that all over the skin. I did miss a little area, well, almost the entire top of my forehead. I missed that right away, but I will be fixing it later on, so, don't completely freak out. But I've learned that if I don't set my foundation, sometimes it does make a difference whenever I go to put another powder product on, just like with the eyes. If I don't set my eyes, the other powder products I put on don't glide on as smoothly. That is why I do recommend, for some people at least, that might have oilier skin, to use a setting powder. Now I'm going in with the blush, and I am using the bronzing brush from e.l.f. Cosmetics, which is another $1 or $2 item. And I swirl that on my cheeks and then pull it back a little bit. Now then, I'm looking for my Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells palette, I do believe. Yes, that is what I pulled out. And the first shade I'm showing you here is the white shade, I do believe. Yeah. Going in with the white shade first. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid. Now, I didn't use an actual primer, but I did put a little bit of that concealer up on the lids as well whenever I was doing my concealer. But I'm taking that white shade and putting it all over the lid. Just buffing it on really good. Just setting that concealer that I put down. Because that will allow any other shades I put on top of it to really blend beautifully. So, then I'm going in with the pinky shade, which is over to the bottom right-hand side. The white shade is in the middle on the left. The pinky shade is the bottom right. And I'm taking that and putting it all over the lid using a flat shader brush, I believe is what it is. And I'm just really packing that on. Now with these shadows, you could wet them if you want a little bit more pop to the shimmer that's in these. Pretty much 3 out of the 4 have shimmer. The only one that does not have at least a little bit of shimmer is the transition shade. So, you know, you can use a different, use like a setting spray to wet it. Now I'm going in with the transition shade that's at the very top on a crease brush. And I'm just buffing that into the crease. Just really buff it on really good and make sure it's well blended, basically. This is a more natural look. All that does is just gives a little bit extra, makes it appear like there's a shadow, really. That defines your natural crease more whenever you're doing it like this. Natural beauty is the best beauty, right? So, now I'm taking that other shade, the darker shade, and we're focusing that more on the outer corner. Because the darker shade really does help to define the eyes even more. And it's not too over the top either. This palette is more of a natural makeup lover palette because it is more natural looking. It's not crazy, it's not wild. Anyone who's new to makeup, I highly recommend this. And they do have what area of the eye they should go on as well. But I'm really just working that on and then building up that crease color some more. So that right there is the eye look. Rather, I'm taking the I couldn't really tell what color that was, honestly. I think I'm taking the pinky shade. Yeah. I believe that's it, yeah. The pinky shade, and I wet it with the Mist and Set, and really just packing that on the lid to give it more shimmer. Like I was talking about, that you could do is wet your brush a little bit. And that's all I did. I used the e.l.f. Mist and Set and wet my brush. And that just gives a little bit extra punch to whatever shimmer you put on. So, I love this trick for any shadow that I want to make pop a little more. Any shadow that I want to stand out a little more. Wetting it does make a big difference. So now we're going back into the transition shade and just blending some more. When in doubt, you blend it out. When in doubt, blend it out. So, I went back into that transition shade to do that. Really just building up that color. And that's another trick too. You always want to build up instead of going with a whole bunch at one time. Then I'm going in with that white shade again and putting that right under the brow. Putting it right under the brow where the natural highlight would be. I mean, to me, it's not a stark white on my skin, at least. So, then I'm taking the NYC Sunny Bronzer. And I'm using a bigger brush than I usually do. But that's okay. You can get away with doing that. And I'm doing more of a bronzer, as I've heard people say on YouTube. Going where I would normally contour, but taking that shade and just going right there and then going on the jawline, up there on the temples a little bit, around the hairline. Just bronzing up my face a little bit. I'm not doing any sharp contouring or anything like that with this. So, you don't always have to do a heavy contour. So, and then I'm using the e.l.f. highlighter in White Pearl. This is a beautiful highlight. It's the one thing in this tutorial that really isn't very natural looking, because it is glowy. So, going ahead and putting that on the tops of my cheeks. And even my hair is, naturally, well, I can't say completely naturally curly because I use sea salt spray, but Yeah. And then I also put that down the nose as well. So, I really got some glow going on today. Then I'm using the Wet n Wild megaliner, and I'm going to line my eyes using that. This is in a brown shade. If you want a more natural looking liner, a brown liner isn't as harsh as a black liner, in my opinion. And I'm still getting used to doing liner, so it does take a little bit of time to do it. And I'm sorry that I completely covered my eyes there. But, you know, just putting that liner on. And this really is a decent liner. It's not a pen style like I originally loved from from Essence, e.l.f. But it still is a pretty good liner. It has a little wand to it instead. Now I'm taking the Essence I Love Extreme, I believe, mascara. Now this really is one of my absolute favorite mascaras that I've tried. You know, you can build this stuff up. You can go crazy with it. I mean, and it's cheap. I mean, I think it was like $3, maybe $4, I think. But I also got it during an Ulta half price sale. Like buy one, get one half off. So, I think that's what it was. But I'm really just building this up on my lashes. And mascara is the one thing that can take quite a bit of time if you really work with it. So, and I just layer it, like I said. So, but, you know, if you like more bold lashes, you'd probably like this. Now I'm using I believe that's the IT Cosmetics Brow Power that I've got there. It is a more natural looking brow. I'm not a huge fan of this though. So, I'd rather use my e.l.f. or my AOA Studio or something like that. But for this tutorial, because it was even more natural than those others, that's why I chose to use that today. But it really does give a real pretty brow. It's just too stiff for my liking. I believe the Maybelline... There was a Maybelline product recently that I tried that it was a really stiff pencil tip to it, and it's like, yeah, no. You know, I ended up using it up, but still, it was just too hard to use. I think it was the defining fill, I think. So, but I really put that on really good, and then brush it out using the other end of the spoolie end, rather. That's what's good about some of these brow products that have the spoolie, because, you know, you can brush it out. Then I'm using the Pro Fix or Oil Control spray from Makeup Revolution. Yeah, Pro Fix Oil Control Setting Spray by Makeup Revolution. Using that all over my face. So that I'm trying to figure out now what color lip to go for. There are so many options that you can do with this type of look, but, you know, I say go with what you want to, what you feel comfortable with. So, I decided to go in with the lip contour kit by, I believe it's Maybelline. So, that's what I'm using today. I have used this a couple times well, more than a couple of times. I've used it a few times. And I'm going in with that middle shade on the left. I'm using the brush, but I have to clean it off really good first. That's the thing with palettes. You need to make sure you've got a clean brush, whenever messing with them, because otherwise you're spreading one color to the next. So, but I'm just using a makeup wipe, and you can get makeup wipes from the Dollar Tree, from Walmart, from all sorts of places. So yeah, I'm going in with that middle shade, and I'm putting that on my lip first, making sure I get plenty on my brush. But I'm still new to using a lip brush, so it does take a little bit extra time to do. I'm using check to my big mirror for a second too, but just really outlining it really good and getting it on there. Then going back into the lip product. You can just slowly build whatever color you want whenever you're using a palette like this. That's what I do like about palettes, because you can create your own shade if you want to. I have even used my finger before and applied it, but it's not as clean looking on the lips as if I do use a brush. So, then I'm taking the lighter shade and going more in the center of the lip, because I did the darker shade more on the outside edges and outer thirds, really, I believe. And then taking the lighter shade directly across from it and putting that more in the center and filling in the areas that I didn't do. Then you rub your lips together a little bit here in a minute, and you're good. Then I took that shade at the very end that's kind of a highlight shade and put that directly in the center of the lip. I learned this trick from Tati, Glam Life Guru. She does the highlighter trick on the lip to really brighten up the lips a little bit. Now I used the thing that they actually had at first, but then I decided to take the actual highlight that I used, the white pearl. Put a little bit of that on my finger and put that on the inner corners of my eyes. Now I have actually taken that and put it on the lip as well, and that's what I'm doing here, putting just a little bit on the lip. Not hog wild, not too crazy. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video. My top 5 videos linked below are New Maybelline City Mini Palette Review and Demo, What's in My Purse, Garnier Argan Oil and Cranberry Extract Review, Get Ready With Me Easy Natural Drugstore First Video, Styling My Short Bob.